Welcome in, everyone, to another live edition of 410 Sports Talk. Excited to be here with you as the Ravens wrap day 3. Their first of the 3-day OTAs scheduled for this offseason is now behind us in the books. And while it was mainly work for the young guys, the newcomers, it certainly has its fair share of veterans also in attendance. And yeah, exciting to see some actual players being on a field somewhere in an organized activity. So yeah, excited to get into some stuff tonight. How you doing tonight, Jimbo?
Doing good. Glad to be here with you guys. Definitely was a stressful day in and of itself. So I'm glad to be here hanging out with you guys instead of doing work stuff. So we're looking forward to talking about the Ravens. Inanna Rave, I think, dropped a comment somewhere, and I can't remember how good the Wired episode was from the Ravens.
Awesome.
YouTube channel, and it was great. It was really exciting, and just
it's almost like you have your own Hard Knocks, just for the Ravens.
Yeah, absolutely. But certainly, then we talked to this off air, and I think it's just worth mentioning, clearing the air, right? Like condolences to all the families impacted by the slaying of children and teachers down in Texas, which is absolutely miserable. I know that Glenn and I both have children ourselves, and it's one thing when you see it on TV, it's another thing when you think about your own family in that scenario. And, I hope we never get numb to this, right? Like, just like Steve Kerr said, I hope that whatever change needs to happen to fix this, it's obviously a problem that needs to be fixed. I don't have answers, just needs to be fixed, right? So condolences to those families, prayers, thoughts, all those things. Man, it was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I have an elementary school age son, and my wife works in elementary school, so I can't even imagine. So yeah, certainly. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time there, but definitely condolences to the families and the community, because it's certainly going to change that whole community for a long time. I don't know how you bounce back from that. So but yeah, as far as the Ravens go, everyone who hasn't seen the Ravens Wired, please go on YouTube and look at the most recent Ravens Wired video. It was awesome. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff that they showed was really cool. I mean, they showed snippets of the pre-draft interview they had with Jalen Armour-Davis, which me and Jimmy were talking about before we checked on here, and it was so cool. I mean, you can see why everyone fell in love with Jalen Armour-Davis, the cornerback from Alabama. I mean, everything about it was just it's like we have our own personal Hard Knocks for absolutely free on YouTube or on the Ravens app. So definitely encourage everyone to check it out. Shout out to Brad. What's going on, Brad? Intern Brad in the chat.
What up, Brad?
Prescott, hope your surgery went well. Appreciate you coming in. Dwayne Jones, appreciate you being in here. Guys, we don't have – I mean, we're going to be talking all things OTAs, but we would love to get into some discussion with you guys in the chat. So make sure you put some questions in there, any comments you have about what you've seen so far, and we will certainly do our best to talk about them.
Yeah, and of course, you want to guarantee your response. You're feeling fiery about something, add a super chat in there, and then in addition to that, you get up on the wall. Yeah, so we're looking forward to going back and forth with you guys tonight in conversation. But the other thing, the place I want to start, Glenn, to start with you is we touched on this in a video, but I kind of want to dig a little deeper. There seems to be concern from the media as far as the drops go. It's some folks, they stay general with it. Other people obviously focused on Rashad Bateman. But where are you? I mean, it's just news. It's just, it's just a snippet out of OTAs. Like, are you concerned at all at this point? Because when I said, you asked me this and I said I'm in wait and see mode. I don't know. Maybe it's just the time and I'm thinking too much about it, but I'm starting to get a little more concerned. Should I? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, as far as Rashad Bateman goes, I'm not concerned at all. I mean, we saw him in game action, and everything we saw from game action we like. So maybe he had a bad day at practice, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave it with Rashad. Now, if you want to start talking about the rest of the receiving group as a whole, there's some areas where I think they could use some depth there. But I will say that there's also some bright spots coming out of there. I think that I heard a couple names that was at least encouraging to hear about. The first of which I'm intrigued by Slade Bolden. I don't know how he makes the team. He's the slot receiver from Alabama. I don't know how he makes the team because we have so many guys that seemingly play that same position. But, the reports are that he's quick. He's got a great understanding of the route running. He's not raw when it comes to that. He's got real good spatial awareness. He's got solid hands. And he seems to be, that prototypical slot receiver in today's NFL. The problem is he's got quite a logjam of guys in front of him who've been here longer and have been waiting their turn. And then the second guy that I'm really excited about that I've been hearing a ton about as far as making plays that kind of force people to notice him, and that's Mekhi Polk, an undrafted rookie free agent out of out of Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about it is we talked about missing some size, right? He's 6'3", he's 200 pounds. So in theory, he'd be our biggest guy at the receiver position if he is to make the team. So excited about what I'm hearing from him. Apparently he's not just big, he's big, but he's got the quickness and feet of a guy that's much smaller than him. So I hear what you're saying, Jimbo. There was a little bit of concern with some drops, but to me, I'm going to ignore the Bateman stuff because I have faith in Bateman. I have trust in him. So I'm looking more past the Bateman because as far as I know, Jimbo, correct me if I'm wrong, the drop issues were only talked about with Bateman, right?
So that's what I thought too, but let me double check because I'm pretty sure that one of our favorite media members said it generally speaking, right? Let's see here. Hold on. Give me one second. Let me find
mentioning that they were having just a
it just said Ravens had a lot of drops today. So Ravens, they
Gotcha.
There was no name, and maybe that was strategic, but you never know. I don't know. I mean, I think that what we'll know about the concern level of the Ravens is whether or not they make a move between now and camp, right? So, like you said, they could be brushing it off. A lot of things going on. People coming back in town. You're just running around and being on the field for the first time with your teammates, like the first day of school. It's not even like the first day of school. You know what it's like? It's like orientation. Remember open house before school started?
Mm-hmm.
You go to open house, you see your boys, and you're like, dude, what's up? Like it's just that. It's like, you know what I mean?
It's so early.
Yeah. So,
and I'm sure with the young guys, it's nerves too, right? I mean, maybe not with Bateman, but even though he's a young guy too, but certainly with the younger
got to feel
guys.
The pressure a little bit.
Yeah, when you see Marlon Humphrey lined up, apparently Marlon was lined up on him on the one-on-ones. Shout out to Ing Raven. Appreciate the you gotta appreciate the love Ing Raven drops for really all
man.
of
dude,
YouTube
you're going up
community.
on the wall, Ing, of our studio. We're excited.
Yeah,
and when you're in town, I don't know what game you're coming up to.
We got to get some
in
lunch.
The studio. We're getting some food.
Yeah,
and we're hanging out and talking Ravens.
Absolutely.
Right.
And by the way, hit me up. We gotta
we got to lock down a time. Maybe next week.
Yeah, absolutely. So appreciate Ing Raven. Man. If you guys don't know who that gentleman is, you might
live under a rock.
Yeah, you may want to crawl out from under that rock. But apparently it was Bateman. It wasn't just Bateman. It was also some Prochet drops and Prochet and Thailand. So shout out to Victor Rodriguez with the super sticker. Man. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I'm not going to get concerned with drops as of yet. First of all, the quarterback who will be throwing them the ball isn't even there yet. So we'll just chalk. You know what? We'll chalk it up to. I know you're not going to like this, Jimbo. Hundley just doesn't throw a very catchable ball. I'm going to blame it on the Ute, man.
That's unfair, Glenn. It's just simply unfair. He throws a nice ball.
Okay. All right. Well,
but, there's other guys there too, right?
But thank you for saying that. That's a perfect segue. Yeah, the Ravens did. Go ahead, Jimbo.
The Ravens signed. Oh, geez, what's his name? The Packers. Brent. Something.
Brent Hundley.
Brent. I wanted to say Brent Urban, but obviously we already signed Brent Urban. Brent Hundley, right? That's right. Former UCLA guy, right?
Yeah, the shocker pick when he was taken, for the Packers when Aaron Rodgers was still there. And flash forward, Aaron Rodgers is still there. He's still really good. But Hundley's here. Does that make you think that it's more likely that Lamar will be missing all of the OTAs because of the fact that they're bringing in an additional arm, or do you think this was just kind of always part of the plan?
Before I answer that question, if he misses all OTAs, do you consider that a holdout?
No, not OTAs.
And not until it's mandatory?
Not till the mandatory minicamp.
So you consider it a statement by Lamar Jackson?
Oh, man. No, because it's Lamar.
So no statement.
Because it's just not Lamar. He doesn't make statements like that. Yeah. That doesn't seem like something he would do. I think if he misses the June 14th to 16th mandatory minicamp, that would be but I don't expect him to. And honestly, I think he'll be there for at least one of these OTAs as well.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that you need a camp arm, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It gives the opportunity for the kid to somehow he kills it, right? And he looks good in our offense. His agent was telling him, dude, look, even if you don't make the team, you put good tape out there because the system they run, you can probably run it well. Maybe they thought there was a fit. Put some good tape out there. That's honestly what I think it is. But I do
he's
wonder.
He's going to get a lot of preseason run.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, Lamar isn't touching the field.
I certainly hope not.
He ain't touching the football field. None of our stars. I would be shocked.
Any of the key stars. I think you have to start a couple guys. The young guys.
Yes,
Linderbaum,
young guys, sure.
Maybe. I'm starting Linderbaum. I got to see what that size looks like against an NFL lineman.
Until he blows his ACL out.
Oh, come on, dude. You better knock on some wood with that one.
For real. But my point is the Ravens are going to be ultra conservative this year. Ultra conservative in what they did in the preseason. So it's like you said, it's going to give him a ton of run in a system that he, could potentially have success in. Speaking of the system, I want to to this. I like the interaction between. You got me?
Yeah, you're kind of in and out here. Yeah.
What?
You mean bring my BlackBerry over? You mean hook up my BlackBerry?
Remember it would like switch up?
Oh yeah.
The sidekick. Oh my God. Man. Wait, can you still hear me though?
Yeah, you're doing better now. Yeah, you're doing better.
Yeah, I can't hear you now. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. Listen, but in all honesty though, I thought the interaction between Marshall and Linderbaum was interesting because Marshall talked about how much fun he had in Greg Roman's system.
Mm-hmm.
And how much fun it is to be an offensive lineman in this system. First of all, I thought it was interesting because people are always bashing Greg Roman and his system. Apparently, there's a group of football players and maybe even some wide receivers and obviously some tight ends. But what was your thought about that in general? Did that bring a smile to your face a little bit?
It is, because we only hear about the very loud minority of people who don't like this system, and usually it's all wide receivers because every other position loves this offense. I mean, like you said, it's a dream for an offensive lineman to play in a system in which it's legitimately run first. Like right. Marshall said, that's rare. And then tight ends certainly thrive in the system. If you're a second tight end, you can almost get the workload of a first tight end in a lot of offenses. And as the third tight end, you can even pick up some touchdowns and scraps as the third tight end. So there's really, and then, I mean, as a quarterback, I mean, if you look at the sample sizes, how's Lamar been on this system? I mean, you can say it's all, and a lot of fans will argue, well, Lamar would look good in any system. That's fine, but in this system, he's won an MVP unanimously, and he's been a two-time Pro Bowler in this system. So, I think the only complaining position group would likely be the wide receiver group, and that's fine. Look, Amber Alert says you got cheap internet, Jimbo. Is that the truth, or what's going on lately?
No, it's just the room I'm in. The Wi-Fi doesn't reach all the way back here.
You got to get a Wi-Fi extender, Jim. How do I know this?
Not my house. It's not my house.
It's plugs into the wall, dude.
No, I'm saying is that like I'm just saying I'm a visitor here.
Oh, you're not like at an Airbnb though. I mean, you know the owners pretty well, Jimbo.
Yeah, I know. I just switched to my hotspot on my phone, so I think we're good. Pay your bill. I'm gonna tell my father-in-law to pay his bill. Hey, pay your bill.
Yeah, you got that Cricket wireless, man. You got that chirp, man. But I don't even know what I was talking about before we.
Just that like you talked about, not everyone has. There's a narrative, an overwhelming narrative, because of a certain group of people that are very loud about disliking Greg Roman's system. But there's also a large group of people that like it. It's just the reality of the situation. So
I bet the entire defense has got to love it, because it usually means the less snaps played by them.
So they're fresher. They're able to, the big impact plays that they make could potentially mean more. They don't have to make them 2, 3, 4 times a game, maybe only once a game.
Yep.
And like you said, being fresh and playing less is always a positive for the defense, because it usually means your offense is winning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, I want to ask you something, Jimbo. Unless you have somewhere you need to go, I want to talk about this.
I do have somewhere I need to go.
Oh, where are you headed? Lunch?
No, nowhere. I'm here for you, my man. I'm totally
all right. Thank you. I want to talk about this cornerback room, because I'm starting to get a little more excited. I was concerned about this group like a month ago, but I'm starting to get way more excited about it. And here's why. Marlon Humphrey didn't have to be there for this OTA. He was there. He gave his reasons, which I thought were awesome. But he's there, and he looks like he's 100%. So,
is he a Bama guy or what, dude?
I mean, he loves ball, man. He's a Bama guy, and he's a Baltimore guy. Like, he fits. He's a Raven. So, boom, you check off. You got your number one back. Everything I've heard from Marcus Peters is that he's in incredible shape. Coaching staff is excited about it, and he's going on every media outlet that will listen to him talk, and he's talking about how hyped he is for this season. So it's got to tell me he wouldn't be doing all that if he was concerned about his knee. So it's given me a lot of encouragement that Marcus is back, and he's going to be 100%. The reports coming out about Jalen Armour-Davis, I mean, on and off the field. First of all, the guy is a grown adult already. The guy isn't looking to get off football practice and hit the club. He's looking to play football, to have his mind on football. And when it's not on football, it's with his family, with his wife and his young child. He is all about ball and family. I love it. I mean, that I love hearing that. And he's making crazy plays on the field. The only downside about that kid is if he can stay healthy. And I think the Ravens are going to turn over every rock, like they said, to try and make sure he stays healthy, because he's great. He's good on the inside. He's good on the outside. I mean, he is perfect for this system as a man cover corner. Brandon Stevens is now being primarily and almost entirely used in the cornerback role. I think that is perfect for him. Let's not. I mean, look, we know he can play safety if he's needed. But
he's got much more experience at corner.
Much more experience, and there's much more of a need there, especially in the slot role as a corner. He's going to get all the work there that he can handle. Then Demarion Williams, Pepe, as they all call him,
let me just
is
add that
looking
real
like
quick.
a stud in the slot position. Now he looks like he would need some muscle and to bulk up a little bit if he wants to go to the outside, but that's fine. Got plenty of outside guys, plenty of outside corners.
Pepe's a dog, though, dude.
Pepe's a dog. I love the swagger. I love the confidence, the fearlessness. He'll tackle. And I think he's got the frame where he can put on some muscle. He don't have his grown man strength yet. He's still, he's still growing into his body a little bit. So he's got me super pumped. And then Kevon Seymour, who's a guy that was a bit of an afterthought for most of us, has been, while it's extremely early, has been so far the stud of OTAs. Has been making play after play, breaking up passes, getting his hands on balls, and even would have had a pick six on day 2 had they let the play kind of play itself out. So those guys right there have me super hyped. And I haven't even talked about the safeties, which are, apparently as good as Kyle Hamilton looked on film to all the guys who evaluated him, he's looked even better since he's got here to Baltimore. And they've actually been able to set their eyes on him. So I am super hyped about this secondary, and specifically because I knew I'd be hyped about the safety room. I mean, when you talk about Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, Chuck Clark, Tony Jefferson, there's not a whole lot to dislike there. Then you could even include Ardarius in that group and Geno Stone, to a lesser degree with those two, but certainly those top 4 guys. But the corners got me feeling a lot more at ease than I did, say, a month ago.
Yeah, I would agree with you. One of the things I'm excited about with Brandon Stevens is in the slot, the physicality that he naturally plays with. We saw it last year. it's going to be exciting to see because all the time, a lot of times you think of slot, you think of a Pip, Tavon. Oh my gosh, Tavon Young. I always want to say Tavon Austin, Tavon Young. But you think about a smaller guy who's quick, who's twitchy, and obviously those things are important inside the slot. But I think that Brandon Stevens' physicality is rare there, and it also gives him the ability, because he's a larger guy, to stick to, or to not only cover those inside wide receivers, but also move over to tight ends if need be. We talked about Kyle Hamilton doing that. I think Brandon Williams can do a bit, or Brandon Stevens, excuse me. Brandon Williams could not.
I don't think Brandon Williams is running some of these tight ends. Yeah, I don't think that's
but
happening.
Brandon Stevens, Freudian slip there. Brandon Stevens certainly could do so. Shout out to registered nurse Mark, going up on the wall, baby. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Wow.
Been watching you guys for a minute. Let's go Ravens flock. Thank you so much.
Out.
And thanks for what you do.
Oh, by the way, yeah, thanks, because the nurses, let me tell you, I had a kidney stone. About a year and a half, I don't remember, maybe a year and a half ago. And this is a time where the family could not go into the room with you. And let me tell you, them nurses were all I had, because I am a baby. And they held my hand. Nurses are too underappreciated. So thank you so much for your profession. And thanks for the super chat as well.
Yeah, and just to add to that, when we had our son, the nurse in the room, it made the whole entire experience for my wife. She absolutely made it. She was just incredible. Wait, the doctor did one thing. She caught the baby. The nurse did everything else. The doctor didn't even do a great job of catching the baby. So, the nurse.
Henry didn't hit the floor, did he?
No, he got caught.
Okay.
But
No
it was a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
A little fumbling going on there. I wasn't too happy about. But shout out to all the nurses out there. And then D Ravens says, does it surprise you guys that Ravens are fourth in point differential since 2012, considering the injury seasons that we've dealt with? I think so. If you're saying that we are fourth, even with what we dealt with last year, and then also, what was that, 15? We also had a really injury riddled season.
Yep,
wasn't
that was when we went 5 and
ACL and 11 or whatever.
Yep.
Does that math add up? Yeah. So I'm not surprised, because 2019 shot us up there.
100%.
Right? You know what I mean? And even 20, while it wasn't 19, it was still one heck of a season. And then on top of that, the Ravens don't get blown out a lot.
No.
So even the losses.
But you're 100% right. That 2019 year made up for a lot of losses, because the Ravens put an absolute beat down on so many. They didn't just beat, these 14 teams. I guarantee 10 of them were by, 2 touchdowns or greater, So
we were the 73-win Warriors.
Yeah, just beating the you-know-what out of people.
Yeah, Lamar's on the sideline in the fourth quarter, just with the shades on.
Yeah, just chilling.
Hold on. I got to show you this. You ready for this? I'm going full on Lamar Jackson. You ready for this? This was Lamar Jackson in the fourth quarter.
Oh, you got him, bro. My man, future's bright, bro. You got to put them shades on. Future's bright.
That's right, man. That's right.
Yeah, anyway, shout out to James Henkels. Good luck tomorrow on the surgery. Hope everything goes well.
Oh, geez. Yeah, hopefully it's a standard procedure.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure all things will be great for you. But yeah, so the corners got me encouraged, Jimbo, because when you look around this division, and certainly the conference, they need to have a stout secondary, because the Ravens like to run the ball, but they also like to play with a lead. So they like to establish a lead. And when you're playing from the advantage, when you're playing with a lead, typically teams are going to throw to get back into the game. And so I think it's a genius move to bolster the secondary. But Jimbo, is the secondary enough? Even say all goes well, is it enough to overcome what looks to be a pretty bare? Now, we're going to get into the edge rushing. Okay, let's just say it now. There's not a ton of guys there right now. Do you think it's enough to overcome the lack of pass rush with this great secondary?
Okay, so when you talk pass rush, this is where I have to ask a clarifying question before I answer your question. I feel a bit like a politician, but I'm not trying to be like a politician here. They ask you a very obvious question, and then they're like, can you ask me what date, please? Or like, I don't recall, whatever. That's not the point. The question is strictly edge rush or just pass rush in general?
Well, I'm talking strictly edge right now.
Okay. Yeah, because to overcome the lack of edge rush, will the secondary be good enough? My answer right now is no. It is no, not the second, because we've talked about this before. The rules in the NFL are such that the best guys in the secondary just take longest to fail. They don't succeed, right? Like per se, like they used to. Like there's no, it's not like Revis Island exists anymore because the rules don't allow it to. Not because guys aren't good enough. I would argue that guys are more athletic and better than a lot of the guys that were dominant back in the day. But the rules have made their job so difficult that, it's just the longest to fail. It's not who wins. It's very rare that you find a guy that can actually win the majority of matchups because the rules don't allow him to. They just don't. So when you're talking strictly edge rush, Glenn, I would say no. But as a true politician, I'm going to rephrase the question you asked me and said, as our pass rush in total, like as a unit, I will say yes. Because one of the things I think we did well this year is from an interior perspective, I think we added punch from the pass rush perspective. I think every one of those guys is a solid pass rusher based on their position. So I do feel better about our ability to generate, interior rush.
Yeah.
So that gets me a little excited and lowers my blood pressure a little bit when it comes to the pass rush overall. Shout out to Doomgoy94, James the Rascal Haskell. Hey, I'll take it, man.
And you know what? You know what? I was wondering for a split second if he knew you from back in the day, when he said James the Rascal Haskell,
that's true.
That's not the OG nickname. It's Jimmy Haskell the Rascal. That's the OG nickname, Jimmy Haskell the Rascal.
Oh, jeez.
But I appreciate the love for sure.
And you're going up on the wall, my man.
Going up on the wall.
And it looks like James getting a partial amputation of his finger.
Okay. Hey, them work accidents, man. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. Hopefully the work is taking care of that.
I was saying, hopefully you followed that paperwork, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, as far as the pass rush goes, here's where I'll say where I'm encouraged. First and foremost, I'm encouraged that I hear Dalen Hayes is taking full advantage of all these snap counts, which is what we were hoping we'd hear from Jalen Ferguson in the edge position, as well as guys like Iman Marshall at the cornerback position. Any young guys, we're hoping that they take advantage. It sounds like Dalen Hayes is doing just that. And then the other thing that got me really hyped, Jimbo, is listening to Odafe Oweh talk and then hearing the reports of what he's apparently it's like night and day from where he was coming in as a rookie to what he's going to be like starting this year. I have high hopes for him, Jimbo. We're going to come up with something because I'm going to need you to try. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to double down.
No. You see what you're doing? I know what I see you from a mile away.
You know what this is? Cover. You don't have to do that.
You know what it is, Glenn? It's the speedometer all over again, dude. You suckered me into the speedometer, the odometer, right? What's it called? Is it the speedometer?
The odometer is the one that counts your miles.
Oh, right.
The speedometer tells you how fast you're going.
You suckered me into the speedometer all over again. And, I see it coming, Glenn. I see what you're doing.
All I'm saying is I need you to double down because I guarantee this year Odafe Oweh is having double-digit sacks.
What are you willing to put on it?
I think we should put a wager on it. If you guys know of any bet we can have, please put something up in the chat. If it's something fun, creative, it can't be horrifyingly bad. But all I'm saying is I am so confident that guy will have a double-digit sacks that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is from a friendly bet standpoint. Because I think he's going to have a fantastic season. But
maybe we do this. This is just off the top of the dome. So let me know.
All right.
Okay. If he does not have double-digit sacks, right? We won't know till the end of the season. Right. So what we will do is for the playoffs, you have to give me $100. Okay. Hear me out. That I get to gamble on Prize Picks for you. I make all your picks. You get no say with your money. But if he does, then you get $100 of my money and you get to do whatever you want with it. I get no say.
Okay. I mean, I think that's interesting. We can put that in the running. but I'm hopeful of one that's a little bit more embarrassing on the air.
Okay.
You know, that's what I want to go for. Now, I
so
saw
the reason I'm thinking
earlier.
the money is because I'm super cheap. And so like $100.
So am I, as you know.
That I don't have
I
control
know.
of. That's a problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you could just go to your you could just go and pretend that your wife's using it to go shopping, and then you'll be, it won't be hurt as bad. You'll just pretend she's
Look at Nana Rave looking out for me. No crazy betting you have to think about Henry.
Well, intern Brad, shout out to Brad Winterling, says that you got to strap on a Baker jersey for a week.
Okay, but what I'm asking is, what do you have to do? Why is it on me?
Well, if I lose,
no, we got to think of a new one now.
What am I going to do with this? What? It's been sitting here, just collecting dust in a wrinkled heap. By the way, how hideous is that? 57 on your left tackle. What a goofball.
Yeah, what is he? CJ Mosley?
What a clown. So guys, okay, here we go. I see some more coming in. Make Jimmy wear a Jalen Ramsey jersey for a week. That would be
what
good.
Does Glenn have to do? He's the one doubling down, guaranteeing double-digit sacks, and I'm the guinea pig? No.
Well, no, look, Dawson says I got to wear a Pickett jersey.
If he doesn't, then, right?
Yeah, if he doesn't get to 10. Look, this is going to be the good thing is we don't have to come to a conclusion now.
True. We got all off season.
And all season, really, because until he starts getting closer, you're not going to be nervous yet. But yeah, I think.
Wait, I'm not the one that has to be nervous. I haven't guaranteed anything yet.
He's going to get double-digit sacks with Mike McDonald as the DC,
right.
And his increased. The fact that he's so much further along, he's not raw like he was last year. It's going to be easy money.
But what if I don't disagree with you? I haven't said anything yet. So if we both agree, what's there to bet on?
Is he getting double-digit sacks?
I'm not ready to guarantee it. I'm not going to go on our show live, put receipts out there saying that I guarantee. I'm not ready to do that yet. But
all right.
You're out there, dude. You're out there on the limb now, bro. Now we're going to put it on you, me and everybody in the chat.
I'm just telling you, man. He's gonna have double-digit sacks,
dude.
Man.
This would be funny if he doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to record you doing the Ray Lewis squirrel dance to the music and everything, all of it. Would be
in the Big O.
How funny would I'm just imagining Glenn doing the squirrel dance. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I got moves, bro. I don't know why you're acting like your boy don't got moves because
you got what's the one from Hitch where he's like,
dude, staying in the comfort zone, man. Sometimes
he smacks him in the face or whatever.
I'm like when she turns her back and he hits that spin move. That's how I am. I like to burn a rug up. But no. But yeah, we're gonna keep talking about. But outside of those guys, so I'm excited about Hayes, excited about Odafe, obviously excited about Ajabo, but I'm not counting on him yet this year any earlier than say December. But do you think that it's just a foregone conclusion? Justin Houston's definitely going to be here, and is he? Because I was a little disappointed in his sack totals last year. I don't know about you, Jimbo, but. Do you think he's do you think he'll be better with the Mike McDonald system as well?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm ready to disagree with you yet while I'm not ready to guarantee it. I think he's going to make a huge jump. Think about a few things, Glenn. Mm-hmm. Think about the fact that he's super young, like his actual age. He's young, hyper athletic. He's hungry to learn. You're talking about Odafe still, right? Or are you talking about?
No, I'm saying is Justin Houston.
Oh, shoot. My bad.
I'm just saying, is he enough of a because that's what everybody's saying. They're like, well, the cavalry's coming. You got Justin Houston coming, and you got Ajabo coming in obviously in November.
No, the answer is no. I understand your question now. The answer is no. Justin Houston is a year older.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he finds a way to turn back the clock. No. And Ajabo is a rookie, right? Like, I mean, coming off an Achilles, even if he knows the system, you can't. It's not even fair for you to put those expectations on a guy like that. It's not. Yeah. It's not fair. So I would say no. I mean,
So it's a worse pass rush. Is it better than last year? The group?
Well, and then you got to add
because Bowser's banged. I mean, I know that Bowser's here, but is he going to be ready? Is he not going to be pup
Dalen
listed?
Hayes, like you talked about.
Yeah.
So I would say there's a chance that they can be better, but I would say at the worst they're going to be about the same.
Got you. So they got to be much better in the secondary, which we expect them to be much better in the secondary. But yeah, I don't know. I got my concerns with the edge rush position. I hope that Mike McDonald's enough. And this apparently that he brought with him some pass rushing guru who I'm blanking on his name, but I've heard his name mentioned multiple times, who's been working with Odafe. And
perfect. We need whatever we can get.
Yeah. So if he's if he's like kind of the Keith Williams to our defense, then that would be perfect, because I think that what they have now is some raw guy. I love Odafe. He's so honest. He's so real about what he's saying. He's saying that last year I was just this raw, like I was a project. I was potential. He said this year I want to develop that potential. I want to see that potential come to fruition. So I think he's aware, but it just seems like they got a lot of raw guys that need some moves and need some polishing. So hopefully that guru is supposed to be the guy who can make it happen. But, Christopher Shook is saying that, that he's excited more, it looks like, about the interior, about the Travis Jones addition and still having Calais Campbell and what Michael Pierce might be able to bring, and Justin Metabike, if this is his true breakout year, whereas last year maybe was a little premature. And even Derrick Wolfe, I mean, he's carrying bears on his back, so maybe he can, uproot a guard and get to the passer. Do you think that interior pass rush will be far superior than it was in recent history?
100%. That's what has me afloat, right? The potential that the interior defensive hold on, what? Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I was really confused. Somebody in the chat said he was gone, and I was trying to look it up. I don't see anything to that
Who's
report.
that?
But Derrick Wolfe.
Nah, he's still in the depth chart.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to cut him either, because the contract is not favorable for the Ravens.
He's got 2 years left. Yeah, he's still in the depth chart, and ESPN's pretty quick with the depth chart.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, all that being
Brent
said,
Hundley's already on there, by the way. That's how quick.
Yeah, I feel really good about the interior, because even a guy like Michael Pierce, right, who you take out Brandon Williams, you add in Michael Pierce, you're adding 3.5 sacks a year on average, right? So just that alone makes a difference. And then you add Travis, you add Urban, and then Metabike is a year longer in the league. Obviously, we still have Calais Campbell. We have some young guys there. So, yeah, I think as a group, they're going to be really good up front. I think we're going to get the job done, Glenn. I think inside or outside, I think we get the job done. I would not be crazy concerned if I were you. Maybe I'm naive.
Yeah, and there's still a long time to go. But I just want to clear this up. Derrick Wolfe, there's no way he's going. If they cut him, they would save $200,000 and they would incur $3.6 million in dead money.
Right. And that's what I don't understand. On Twitter, people are like, "Oh, the Derrick Wolfe clock is officially ticking because of the signing of Brent Urban."
Post one, it does change. Post June 1,
what is it?
They save $2 million and they incur only 1.8 in dead money.
Oh,
so I guess
that is so possible. Let's see if they save 2. Is that they save?
So does it not wash out to just being
right to be 200,000?
Because if all you're getting is 200,000, I think I'll keep Derrick Wolfe.
Right, you save more money. Yeah, exactly, by cutting a guy like Juan, right? Like,
yeah. So I mean, it's better than if they did it like today, but still don't see. I don't see the value in cutting him if he's healthy, and it looks to be he is. Then he would be far more valuable than 200,000 in savings.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. So. I think he's staying for sure. Now, I'm guessing those things change next year as far as his contract goes. But yeah, I mean, I don't see him going anywhere if our savings is accurately $200,000. Doesn't make much sense. But if after the calculation is done, it is 1.8 in savings, that could be something that they look at, right? But if it is truly
if they're
200,000,
really desperate, I mean, that's getting really desperate.
if
to
they
save
find the
1.8.
right guy, that's worth the
Yeah,
right signing, right? Because
it
we
would have
said
to
this
be
before.
that.
What 2 days ago we said contingencies on contingencies, right? Like we don't know. Brent Urban was injured a lot while he was here, and he
Yeah.
had some good moments, but certainly he wasn't the most available guy all the time. And Michael Pierce has been battling injuries. Calais Campbell battled injuries last year. Like it's not like we have the healthiest, youngest unit up front in the middle, so why not keep them around, right? Add to the depth, rotate them in and out, keep them fresh. These are big boys. So let's keep them fresh, keep their reps down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's kind of funny you talk about having good depth, having good quality depth, because it just reminded me of a quote from Wink Martindale when he was asked about what he learned from the Ravens last year. And his quote was, "Don't go to DoorDash to find a backup corner." So he knows how important it is to have quality depth, and he certainly learned that last year the hard way. But yeah, so I'd be all for keeping them. But that front, talented dude. I mean, talented dude. Like there's going to be guys that are going to be good that are going to have to get cut, from this group because they're just so deep at that spot. So
now I will amend our statement. It looks like some of the reporting I'm seeing, it will be 1.8 in dead money and 2 million. And you might have said this, maybe I misinterpreted this. 2 million in cap savings after the dead money.
Okay, so they count that. Okay, is that right?
It's the way that I'm interpreting it. And once again, unless we're both interpreting it wrong, but now I'm starting to doubt myself. Anyway, either way, that's on the hook.
We've been trying to get a cap expert on our show for forever, and no one will answer our calls or our direct messages.
You guys, right? Yeah, we'd love to get one. So, yeah, maybe Brad, you need to add that arrow into your quiver.
Yeah, there we go.
You don't do enough, Brad. You got more we need you to do. No, totally kidding. You do way too much. So we appreciate it. But all right. So the other thing I want to talk about is the tight end room. We talked about the tight end room yesterday, but I want to talk about it a little more because I saw the video and I thought it was interesting what Greg Roman said about Likely. What's your thoughts about this room being better than the 2019 year? Because to me, Likely athletically can compare to a Hayden Hurst athletically. I'm not saying he's the same finished product, right? However, from blocking at you heard they said in the video, and this is exactly kind of what we talked about, blocking in multiple levels of the defense is exactly what Hayden Hurst did, and that's exactly what Likely can do. And I'll tell you what, dude, I feel a lot better about Kohler and his ability to use his size and his physicality on smaller guys. So I'm feeling really, really good about we could have the best tight end room in the NFL, and I would not be shocked.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think that's. I mean, I think if a fan of another team heard you say that, they'd say, "Oh, he's being a homer." But I agree with you.
Pro. So
yeah. So it's hard to trump. When your number one guy is so talented. But no, I think you're 100% right. I'm getting more excited about Charlie Kohler. I think that Kohler kind of took the backseat to Isaiah Likely, despite the fact that he was drafted higher, because of some of the athleticism that we saw out of Likely and some of the big plays we saw out of him. But Kohler has me excited because first of all, he's huge. He's a gigantic guy. He's extremely long, and he uses his length well to kind of box out defenders and get to the ball. He has a ton of frame to add some muscle, because I think that once he adds muscle, he is going to be an absolute handful and a problem for defenses, because he already knows how to use his body and kind of bully smaller defenders around. If you add some muscle to that, then I think the sky's the limit for this kid. So I'm excited about what he can bring as far as his ability to high point a ball, use his body, understand, and separate against man coverage. One thing I saw in that Ravens Wired, by the way, if you guys haven't seen Ravens Wired, go to YouTube. It's free. It was an awesome episode. But what I like hearing Greg Roman say is he said, anyone can get open in zone. Anyone can get open in zone. He said, unless you're just horrible at spatial awareness. Can you separate against man coverage? And that's the two things that I think both these guys can do, is separate against either a bigger, slower guy or a smaller, fast guy. They know the difference of how to get open and use your body against both potentials, because there's going to be times where they have a linebacker trying to run with them. There's going to be times where they have a corner or a safety trying to nip at their heels and bite at their ankles. And I think both these guys have an understanding of how to get open. I listened to did you hear about Charlie Kohler talk about his routes? Break down one of his routes, breaking down every step of his route, what his thought process was. I got this guy on me. I know this, he said typically smaller guys, they try and break on the ball, so I know I have to come back to the ball. If it's a bigger guy, they like to sit back. Like it's just like Mark Andrews said, their understanding is so far beyond where he was at when he came here.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. I mean, these guys
Mark just used to, when he came in the league, he just run really fast and put his hand up.
Yeah, catch the ball and then run people over. Like, this guy has an incredible understanding of what it takes to get open at this level. And then, like you mentioned, Isaiah Likely, his ability, I think the blocking was overshadowed. I mean, this guy is a big, strong upper body, and I don't want to be a DB if I'm trying to block this guy or get past a blocking version of Isaiah Likely, because he's probably going to manhandle me. And his speed, his yak ability, I think this tight end room, and then Boyle, he is way closer to the Nick Boyle we're used to seeing than he was last year. Last year was a shell of Nick Boyle. That was almost like a hologram of what Nick Boyle should look like, but you could run right through him like a hologram. Like, he wasn't the same Nick Boyle. So I couldn't be more excited. And then, of course, Mark Andrews, he looks like Mark Andrews out there, which is encouraging. So I think this group has a ton of potential, and it also helps you're playing in probably the most tight end friendly offense in the league.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait. I think that our roster as constructed, if healthy, I would put it up against any roster in the NFL, period, top to bottom, healthy, right? Like, you got to, just all the guys coming back, forget the new draft picks. Just Lamar, Gus, JK, guys on the O-line, the entire defensive backfield for the most part, except Chuck Clark, right? It's just going to be ridiculous. And I cannot wait to see what happens.
And then Project Pat is still. Yeah, I saw that Marlon tweeted. He said, "Hey, I heard that Kyle Hamilton wants to go head up with Pat on the first day."
Good luck, dude.
And I think Kyle back immediately was like, "No, I don't.
No, thank you."
Was putting the challenge out there.
He's going to have to wear that extra thing around their head that they're wearing right now to avoid any potential concussions, because Pat Ricard has one move and one move alone. He's running in your mouth and out your back door. Like, he's going through you, right? Like, boom. He's not going around. He's not jumping over you, not spinning over you. He's going through you.
Yeah. So this room you're right. It's special. It is absolutely special. And let's just hope, like most groups, that they can stay healthy, and that way they can, truly be put in all the places that they will likely to succeed. Because if you start taking guys away, then guys are forced into spots they may not look as good. But yeah, put some muscle onto these boys. Let's keep them eating healthy and working hard. And I think we'll already see body changes from now to when training camp and preseason kicks off from a guy like Kohler.
Yeah, I've gotten stuck on the science of people's feet lately, and I'm reading a book that talks a lot about it. And I'm convinced, look, John, get with our strength and conditioning and just a couple times a day, do some like 80% sprints in bare feet, a few times a day. Get those feet muscles going, man. Get those feet muscles going. Get that ankle strength up, because I think it affects the entire body. Hopefully we can do some of that stuff. But yeah, man, whatever we got to do is my point to avoid these injuries, because we can't have this again. It was exhausting.
Yeah. No, it was painful. The alerts popping on my phone were like, are you effing kidding me? Another guy is gone for the season. So, I think that the worry about the receiver room will be kind of put to rest a little bit once we see what these tight ends do. And also the receivers themselves, I think, are also going to quiet a lot of the doubters, because I think they're going to have a good year as well. And, if I'm wrong, then you'll know it by the personnel decisions that the front office decides to go with.
That's the thing, for sure. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We had a blast tonight. We appreciate the presence of all you guys. Next week, we're going to be talking about, oh, geez, Wiz, I almost fell out of my chair. We're going to have a few guests on. We're going to be talking more Ravens. We're going to, of course, be coming live. Hopefully we'll have a collab lined up with Ing Raven. But if not next week, certainly soon. And we are a little over a month out, ladies and gentlemen, of revealing our studio, which we are so excited about. Been putting a lot of work in on, and we appreciate all the support from you guys. So, yeah, absolutely. Make sure that you stay tuned, turn your notification. Hopefully you guys had notifications. Hopefully you guys had a good time tonight. Let's give some shout outs, Glenn.
Yeah, let's do it. Paul Jenkins, appreciate you always being in here. Don C. Don C might be, it's Don C, Nana Rave, and if I'm missing, I apologize, but Don C might be the all-time
hype man, dude. He's the hype man.
Best hype man for all of the Ravens YouTube family, because I'm always seeing him up there. He watches every one of our friends that we've had on the show. We've been on their shows. People like Ing Raven, Sarah Ellison, Patrick Queen. I'm reading McDiamond's that says don't sleep on Patrick Queen. No, Kadri Ishmael, a bunch of people, and Don C is always hyping them up. Steven Severs, appreciate you as well. Yolanda B is here every single live, never misses, and is super positive and active in the chat. J-Dub, appreciate you also being here. Dan Wald, always here, every episode, never misses. Appreciate you. Aaron Butler, appreciate you always coming out. Tanja Bowman, always out here, has been really with us since the start. Eye of Horus Taurus. I love it. The nickname Kohler Bear.
Love it, dude.
Charlie Kohler. I like it. The Kohler Bear. That's if someone hasn't called him the Kohler Bear as of yet, then it's just a travesty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he better already have that as his nickname. Mick Diamond, always in here, always keeping us busy in the chat. Appreciate you as well. And anybody I missed, I do apologize. Everyone who watched as a silent observer, appreciate you as well. James, also, I always see James in there.
I appreciate that, Glenn.
Not you, Jimbo. You're always Jimmy in my mind. But yeah, everyone else who watched silently, thank you so much for all your support. We will not be gone too terribly long, so hit the notification bell if you want to be updated on our next videos, which, by the way, apparently I'm hearing isn't 100%. That notification bell, but yeah, click it anyway because I'm sure it's better.
And follow us on social media because that's also like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We always post there too as well when we have videos up and things like that. So it's just another easy way for you guys to keep up to date. Shout out to Balti Raven going on the board.
Yeah, appreciate it. Absolutely. But that's it for us tonight. We'll talk soon.
See ya.